Hi friends and welcome back. My name is Jewel Zingrich and today we'll be working through some fraction and decimal problems together. So let's go ahead and get into number one. And so number one gives us these two fractions that I have written here. It gives us 3/8 and it gives us 5/16, and it wants us to use physical models, that being fraction pieces, fraction bar, fraction strips, to compare these two together. So just to, in the essence of comparing, I have our whole here just so we can continue to see which of these is closer to a whole. So let's start with our 1/8 pieces. And so we have three of them, 3/8. So I have 1/8, 2/8, and 3/8. And then let's move on to our next fraction, which is 5/16. So I'll go ahead and start lining these up as well. So I have 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, and 5/16. So if we kind of squeeze these together and squeeze these together, already comparatively, we can see that our 3/8 pieces are more or closer to a whole than our 1/16 pieces. So it's an easy misconception to see that 5 is larger than 3 and 16 is larger than 8 to think this is larger for sure. But we have to think about it in the sense of, in this one whole for this fraction, there are 8 pieces. So we already have 3 of those 8. In this fraction, this whole is 16 pieces and we only have 5. And so it's larger pieces of the whole. And so 3/8 we can see visually, and if we also think about the fractions, that it is larger or closer to a whole. Alrighty, let's get into problem 2. So problem 2 provides us with this decimal of 9,430 and 2/100ths, and it wants us to find its expanded form, or represent its expanded form. And what this is it's the sum of each digit multiplied by its place value. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So we'll rewrite our number and then begin. So first we start in our thousands place, and we have a 9 here. So 9 times 1,000. Again, it's the sum of the digit, so the 9 multiplied by its place value, which is the thousands place. And now we'll continue with the rest. And so we have a 4 in our hundredths place. So we have 4 times 100, which gets us our 400ths place. And then we have 3 in our tenths place, so we have 3 times 10. And then here we have a 0 in our ones place. So there's two options here. You can either leave it out and then continue beyond the decimal, or you can choose to represent it with a 0, which I like to do just so I can check and make sure that I've accounted for each place value. And so here we have 0 times our 1 place. And so now we're going to move beyond the decimal. And once we move beyond the decimal, we're talking about our tenths, our hundredths, our thousandths, and beyond. And so to represent this, we use fractions. So again, we have a 0 here, so you can choose to leave it out, but I'm going to represent it here with 0 times 1/10, because we're talking in the tenths place. And then lastly, we have a 2 in our hundredths place, so that's 2 times 1/100. So it gets us 1/100th. And so now that we've had our expanded form, it actually leads us to make finding our mixed number, the next part of the problem, a little bit easier, or lead us to finding it quicker. And so to do this, we start with our beginning of our mixed number, our whole number, which is 9,430. And then now we have to think about our fraction. And so why I say this yields to making our second part easier is we've already found the denominator of our fraction, which is a 100th. So we can start there. So we have 100th. And then now we go back to our decimal to see what the digit is that's there. And so we have 2. And so we have 2 over 100th. And so our total mixed number is 9,430 over 2/100ths.